Hi, I'm Mike. I know it's going to sound crazy, but it is only 33 degrees out here. And that means that it's time to start getting ready for winter on the project list on our Wyoming Life. Hi, and welcome back to our Wyoming Life, where we explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary 3 times per week. Please subscribe and make sure you hit that little bell icon so that hopefully you know when we release a new video. YouTube tells me it works. It does, sometimes. But let me tell you, if you don't push it, there's no way to get notifications when we launch a new video. And if you're planning on coming along with us, then you're gonna want those alerts. Here's another reason why. We've started a new feature here on our Wyoming Life called Life Streams.
Oh, I'm driving along and I look up over here and there is 2 Red Bulls. You can see them standing over there. We're gonna get a lot closer to these guys. There's 2 Red Bulls up here standing together in what we call the cut across.
Let's head up this way. I think that might be a badger.
Badgers love eating prairie dogs. They can wedge this camera somewhere so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Hey, there we go. That might work.
They're just like live streams, but they're totally off the cuff and unscheduled. You never know when they might happen. Yesterday, for example, we found Bubbles. We went live, we made sure it was him, and we got him and the rest of the bulls moving towards home. It was a lot of fun, and if you don't have that bell turned on, you might have missed it. Moving right along, today it's time to hit the project list, and winter is approaching fast. In fact, we have snow in the forecast. It's not much, but that little snowflake is hard to ignore. I'm sure there's going to be many more following it soon enough. The project list is an ever-expanding and contracting list of things that need done around here. And as part of our winter prep, we're going to be working in the high tunnels today. Erin will be growing in these high tunnels all winter long. And although this is only the 2nd year of us doing this, we've learned over the last winter that it can be done. Lettuce, spinach, radishes, carrots, and many other cold hardy crops will be harvested throughout the winter and taken to our winter's farmers market that takes place 1 day per month from November through May. By growing all winter long, we can not only continue to supply fresh vegetables to our community, but also help out with our monthly income. On the flip side, it keeps us almost as busy all winter as we are in the spring, summer, and fall. Today, we're working on the high tunnels. With temperatures dropping below and down into the mid-30s at night, we're only days away from a good hard freeze. The tunnels will keep the temperature of the interior a few degrees above the outside temperature. It's not much, but sometimes it's enough to protect a crop, as our freeze will often happen, and then we'll have a few more days or weeks of nice weather. Weather this morning is a bit chilly, but as the sun rises in the sky, it does start to warm up. But with that comes the wind, which doesn't really help. The whining you hear is the wind generator that is right by the tunnels. And the higher the pitch, the more wind there is. Our main project for today is to finish sealing up the end walls of the new high tunnel above the garage doors. Gaps have been left for the installation of the garage doors, and now that the doors are in, we can seal up that area and hold some more of the warm air inside the tunnel. We start by unloading 2x6s, some pressure treated and some regular whitewood. The whitewood will be used on the end wall project, and the pressure treated lumber will be used on the older high tunnel, which I'll catch you up on in just a few minutes. The gap above the garage door is roughly 9 feet wide by 4 feet high. We get a start by installing a cross beam, the width of the door at the bottom of the opening. By cutting out some of our framing, we can create an area on each side to slip the cross piece into, then attach it to the existing framing. Because our sheathing is in 8-foot pieces, we're too wide to cover the entire gap with just one piece. We're gonna have to use 2, and by adding a vertical support piece here, it'll give us something to attach our exterior sheathing to and strengthen it. We also removed some helper blocks that I installed while putting up the previous sheathing to get it out of the way for the new lumber. With the dimension being over 9 feet, we cut 2 pieces of OSB sheathing to 55.5 inches. Using our same ledge blocks that we took off the wall, we can then attach them to the bottom board to give us something to rest our sheathing on. When you're working by yourself, you have to come up with a second pair of hands quite often. Then, very carefully, due to the wind, we can lift it into place. Wind loves to grab anything it can, and I don't want to follow this thing off the ladder. After one piece is in place, the other can be hoisted up, checked for fit, taken down, adjusted, and then finally screwed into its home. With that, it looks like we're done. Our blocks are taken off, and it looks pretty good. But it's only an illusion. Anywhere that air can get into the high tunnel, it will. It will never be airtight, but keeping out as much as possible will help maintain temperature on very cold days and nights. Above the door is a gap that will allow air to rush into the inside. We have to do something about it, and luckily, I have some leftover weather stripping from somewhere that will work just fine. It's about 9 feet long, and using short screws with washers to keep them from pulling through the rubber of the weather stripping, we can lay it in and attach it. As an added piece of security, we're also going to keep the weather strip in place by adding another 2x6 over the top of it. After cutting it to length and getting it in place, and temporarily we can hold each end in place with a screw. Then we very securely attach the two boards together. The wind is picking up, so let's take a look at the other high tunnel for a minute. This high tunnel lost its cover this spring. Not a deal breaker, as Erin was able to grow in here all summer long. But now it's time for a new cover to go on. The new cover has arrived and it's being stored in the shop, but some modifications are going to be made to the framework. The ribbon board along the side here holds the cover on and allows the sides to roll up. On the new tunnel, we use 2 strips of wiggle wire to attach the cover, adding security and peace of mind. We're going to do the same thing with the old one, and that means we're going to have to replace the existing 2x4 ribbon board with a 2x6 one to allow for the extra room of the wiggle wire channel. We have 2x6 pressure treated lumber just for this purpose, as condensate can actually roll down the side of the plastic and end up on these boards. They'll be placed right on top of the old ribbon board, and we're going to use that as a guide and attach them to each other and then the frame of the high tunnel. But that's it for today, for now. I'm going to go finish up the other end of the tunnel, basically the same thing I did before, and then I can come work on these. Whew. It's always something on the project list anyway. Sometimes it's the mundane and sometimes it's the live or die, but I guess it all needs to be done, especially if you want warm dinner and expect to sleep in your own bed tonight. I think the next couple of project list videos are actually going to be getting ready for winter, something that always sneaks up on us and just adds on to the workload. At the conclusion, we're going to be doing away with my summer hat. I was going to bring it out here with me, I forgot it. We're going to be putting on my felt winter hat, but as a symbolic sign that winter is over around here on the ranch, we always do something with it. Last year, we burned it. I think this year it's going to be something a little bit more epic and possibly even devastating. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with me for a little bit today. I am going to go back to work on the other end wall, but please be sure to subscribe, and if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. It really does help. Until next time, have a great week, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.